When did you first go to sea? How old were you, and what was your first ship?
I was 16. I went to sea in 1949. And what else?
And what was your first ship?
River Glenelg.
What type of ship was that?
Well, there was what they call the River class. They built 13 of them. I was on 4 of them.
Oh yeah.
In a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it for?
The 4th.
Yeah. How many? No. What were the 4 ships? 4 riverboats you were on?
The Glenelg, the Mitter, the Hunter, and the Fitzroy.
All right. What? How many was in the crew on them?
47.
47.
Yeah.
Right.
They were well manned.
Yeah. Yeah. And what made you choose a seagoing career?
Oh well, I used to. I was born and bred in South Melbourne, near the docks.
Oh yeah.
We used to kids always hung around wharves, and
Yeah.
and I just got interested in ships when I was about 12.
Yeah.
And it just sort of fascinated me, and I had a lot of mates, schoolmates, and they ended up going to sea in the Merchant Navy, and
Yeah.
they used to come back and I'd see them and they'd tell me all these yarns, and I thought, oh, that sounds like Errol Flynn here.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to try this, I like ships, why not join them? So I went down to Mercantile Marine Office, that's what you used to do then,
Yeah.
and you put your name down to get a deck boy's position. And they says, righto, we'll contact you when we need one. And it took over a year. Yeah, I was only about 15. It took over a year, and you've got to be 16 then to go to sea.
Yeah.
Anyway, they sent me a telegram, and I'd never been out of Melbourne. They said, you've got to fly to Adelaide tomorrow. I thought, holy hell, I wouldn't have even had a suitcase. I had to borrow a suitcase. And two deck boys, there was 2 deck boys on the river ships, and they picked up 2 deck boys. So on this great adventure, we packed our bags, which we borrowed, and said goodbye to our tearful parents. My old man was real pleased I was giving him the shits. So
There's the door. Use it.
so we ended up flying Adelaide. Never been in a plane in my life. It was quite an adventure.
Yeah.
And joined the River Glenelg. I said, where's she going? They said, Rapid Bay. I thought, geez, that sounds romantic. So
Yeah.
I'm looking up this map in the airport. You know, there's a big map there. I'm
Yeah.
like, where the hell's Rapid Bay? I'm thinking of exotic tropical islands. And
Yeah.
it's the most godforsaken asshole place in the world.
Yeah.
You know where it is.
Yeah,
don't you?
been there. Used to
Yeah.
run there on the Mundura.
So it ends up in Rapid Bay, 4 hours steaming from Adelaide.
Yeah.
I stayed in the ship 12 months, got my deck boys time in, and things flowed on from there.
Yeah. What were the conditions like when you first started going to sea? Like, you know, your hours of work, your leave, your wages?
Oh, well, the wages were pretty low. I mean, if I remember right, it was £13 a month for a deck boy.
Yeah.
And the quarters were very Spartan. Everything was down the toilets and showers were somewhere else, and you just had a cabin, like 3 in a cabin.
Yeah.
3 in a cabin, yeah. 2 double-tier bunk and a single bunk, and the oldest and the strongest got the single bunk.
That's right. Yeah.
The 12 to 4 second wheel got the top bunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your working hours?
Well, as on that ship as a deck boy, well, you were Damon, a deck boy, and after time it'd be as a Peggy for the POs.
Yeah.
Because those river ships had different accommodation than now. They had integrated mess rooms and all that. They had POs mess rooms, firemen's mess rooms, and sailors mess rooms, and the deck boys were separate. They kept us separate. We had our own little cabin, own little washroom, own toilet, everything. We were sacrosanct. Don't touch the deck boys, because we were good-looking blokes. So it was we were sort of protected.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to drink, and you know, they looked after us morally.
Yeah.
But as soon as you turn ordinary seaman, all hell broke loose.
That's right, mate. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with being Damon, what
With what?
With you being the dayman as deck boy, what time did you start working?
Oh, well, here's another thing. On this ship, the master was Captain Holtane, and anybody knows him, knows what I'm talking about. And his son, Graham, is another one, was the apprentice.
Oh,
and
shit.
They had a
The
good
daily
idea.
double.
They had a good idea.
Yeah.
So the month the deck boy was Peggy, the other deck boy, he'd put them in the 12 to 4 watch.
Yeah.
So you learned all the business of watchkeeping, steering, and etc. And that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And young Graham, the apprentice, took me under his wing, and he got me involved in getting a second mate's ticket, which I never got. That's another story.
Yeah.
He enrolled me in the Richmond Nautical College on a correspondence course, and I was doing real well because I was a brainy bugger, you know, all A's at school.
Yeah.
And everything. What a waste. And
What
anyway, I'm doing all this correspondence course, and
Yeah.
he's helping me. But when I left and become ordinary seaman, I'd lost him as a sort of tutor.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for anybody on deck on Australian ships to get a ticket,
Yeah.
because there was no backup,
That's right,
nobody
yeah.
to help you.
Yeah.
That's why there's not many went through the hose pipe, as they say, and went on the bridge.
Yeah.
So I never succeeded in it, although I'm not sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had the best time of my life.
So he wasn't a bad bloke when he was apprentice, eh?
Who?
Graham Holtane.
No, he was good, but
Because he turned
geez,
into a proper prick when he was skipper.
Well, he took up his old man.
Yeah.
I had the two of them.
Yeah.
And he did turn into...
What did his old man say? You reckon I'm a bastard? You haven't sold me son yet.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And I ended up with Graham when he was mate on the Binborough.
Yeah.
And he welcomed me with open arms. I hadn't seen him since he was an apprentice. And all the crowd saying, who's this dagging up the old Tane?
Yeah.
Dagging old Tane, yeah. And anyway, one incident in Launceston, he was mate on a D-boat.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the D-boat, but all my mates were on this D-boat, right? And they're all up the pub and midday, right? And they're all late getting back, and he would have just sacked a lot of them. That's how we got. Anyway, I thought I'll help him out. And I said, you fella, hide behind the shed with you, and I'll go aboard and have a yarn with you. That's right. So when I said, it says Graham, how are you? I haven't seen you for years. And I'm yakking him, and they're all sneaking into the Ashport door, and I saved them all.
Yeah.
They couldn't thank me enough.
Yeah, I was with the bastard on the Townsville Trader when he ran her aground on Corsair Reef. Yeah. So, in them days, how long did you get in port, loading and discharging?
Oh, geez,
roughly.
You're always in port.
Yeah.
With government ships, there was the ASB then,
Yeah.
it's now the ANL. With government ships, they got the last priority in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you're forever lying at dolphins, waiting to load or waiting to unload or waiting for a cargo. And especially in Darwin, one ship was there 3 months. They just keep putting you out in the bay while a state ship come in. They got first preference. And the government ships, they didn't have a chance of making a profit. I mean, the way they run that company is...
That was the same as the box boats. Same. They got put back to the bottom of the list, and that if an overseas ship came in, A&L jobs got the portainers put up. Yeah. Ridiculous. When you started off, what were your duties? And as you came up from deck boy to bucko to AB, how did they change as you went through the ranks?
In them days, now they've got integrated ratings, and you go down and you do a course in Launceston, like you used to. But then you just learned on the job. I mean, you learned as you went away, and the old hands that teach you. I mean, you'll notice I do all this fancy rope work.
Yeah.
Now, in them days, most of the old bosuns were old sailing ship men, and they used to do all this stuff. And you didn't have any recreation then. You had no radios, TV, nothing.
Yeah.
You had nothing. So you'd done handiwork. People were making all sorts of funny things.
Yeah.
And so I got them to teach me all this, and I've kept it up ever since. And a sad thing about it, when we go, there'll be nobody to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
When Bill Langlois in Sydney, have you met Bill?
Yeah, he's one of the ones we've interviewed.
Yeah, well, he's the one that taught me how to make the rope anchors.
Oh,
and, I don't think there's too many people can do that.
No.
So, anyway, duties on the ship,
Yeah.
well, you sort of learn them. The funny thing was, a deck boy wasn't allowed to go aloft. It was considered very dangerous.
Yeah.
But as soon as you turned ordinary seaman, up you go.
Yeah.
You had to instantly learn how to rig a bosun's chair, do that magic hitching, and up you go, and you're shitting yourself.
Yeah.
But you had to do it.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, you could be deck boy on the same ship that you just go bucko on. They wouldn't show you as deck boy because it was too dangerous.
Yeah, right.
The next day is bucko.
Up you go. Yeah. And all you do is learn how to do the hitching and all, and stages over the side. Yeah, stages over the bow.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Now I believe they've got to have cherry pickers and safety gear and
yeah.
But
well,
you learned as you went along, and well, if you're in a watch, you just done your 4 on 8 off. But everybody was overtime hungry because the money was so poor. So you'd do your 8 hours on watch, and then you'd do the rest of your time on deck, doing deck work, and make more money. But your eyes were hanging out your head. I mean, you're walking around like a zombie. Just in a 4 to 8 watch. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. There was, unless you did overtime, you got no money at all. Oh. What was the food like when you first started off?
Oh, yeah, right.
And how did it change?
Yeah, food, right.
Yeah. Best fed seagulls in the world.
People have mentioned Smith strawberries and all that business. Yeah, it was pretty basic. Yeah. And I reckon I must have killed a lot of bugs because there was that much of it.
Yeah.
Now, lunch, dinner was at midday. It was a 3-course meal. I mean, you'd chuck a horse with it.
Yeah.
And everybody used to eat everything in sight because you worked hard and you're hungry all the time. Yeah. But and tea was at 5, evening meal at 5, and in between breakfast and that and tea and dinner, you had smokers. The deck boy would make a pile of toast you couldn't jump over, so you were forever eating. Yeah. But I reckon there's a few ulcers and overweight people involved with the food. And it wasn't healthy either, because later on they did have a sort of a rebellion against the food, and they wanted more healthy diets. And it did come about.
Well, remember the bubble and squeak?
Oh,
it'd be left in the bucket that long to cook it, cut the growth off it, and then recook it again.
Oh, yeah, the bubble and squeak.
Yeah. It was banned on the coast for a while.
The best meal was the black pan.
Yeah.
For the 4 to 8 to come off, and all the vultures would be round in the dome, and they'd be hovering over your shoulder waiting for the what's left, because that was, you used to get fillet steaks and all sorts of good stuff, and the vultures would be waiting for it. Get away.
Heaven help you if you detoured in by the toilet on the way down. Oh, he's not coming, jump.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, the food was plenty of it, but very, very basic. Very basic,
What was provided by the employer in the way of like soap, linen, safety gear, wet weather gear, industrial gear?
As far as gear goes, nothing. Absolutely nothing. You bought all your own stuff, oilskins, sea boots, everything. You bought your own. They didn't supply anything. And the soap, that was a joke. I was just talking with Peter Rollins about it the other day. It was called olive cream. Tell you, it'd bring you out in bubonic plague, and it was awful stuff. And that's all they'd supply in the government ships. It was olive cream, right? Oh, Jesus, no, everything was very, very basic.
And that other stuff you used to wash your clothes in, which would rot them, it's full of acid.
Oh yeah. And for surgeon, they had that soda stuff, and it burn all your skin off.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. And the washing facilities was a steam pipe stuck in a bucket.
Yeah.
That was your washing machine.
That was your washing machine, The good old days.
You sort of had to improvise with everything, but that's all that was there, and what else could you do? You didn't envisage washing machines, television sets, and all that business.
Yeah. What different types of ships have you been on, and what was life like on board them?
Oh, different types. I've been on, I suppose, every type. The cargo ship, the tankers. I was on 3 tankers. And bulk carriers. I was on 3 passenger ships.
Yeah.
And, it's sort of a good mix of all. I haven't been on a box boat because when I went to tugs, they were sort of just coming into although Australia had the first container ship in the world, the
Coringa.
Coringa, yeah. And she lost one of her deck cranes over the side.
Yeah, I was on her when the Noongar sank. I was on the Coringa.
Yeah. You weren't on the Noongar.
No, I was on the Coringa. We bought the
when she sank.
We bought the wreckage back for their court. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I just let it go over my head.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, we bought all the wreckage back for the court of inquiry. I think it was a life jacket, a little bit of the bottom boards out of a lifeboat, half a oar. It wasn't much at all. That was the wreckage of the Noongar. Yeah.
I can remember the name of the survivor. Lingard.
Jay Lingard, Russell Henderson.
Jay Lingard is a fireman.
There's 5 of them. 5 of them out of 23 or something, wasn't it? 22, 23. Yeah. What was life like on board the different types of ships?
Life?
Yeah. How'd you amuse yourself? You already started, say, a while ago with the doing of the ropes and that.
Yeah, well, they've eventually, the crew eventually, when TV come in, they used to dub in and buy their own little black and white TV set. So next year you got TV and everybody bought a radio. There was a bloke in Newcastle, Carrington, called Ruddy's. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he used to sell all sorts of things for Seaman. And he made these radios, and they had to be broken down in power from 240 to 110.
Yeah.
There was a 110 set and 240 in the ship.
Yeah.
And you get these sets, and they'd have this great big light globe on the top. That was his way of breaking. So when we never all got electric.
Yeah.
And so everybody started getting radios. And with a radio on a ship, you needed a good aerials. And they used to have all these aerials hanging. And the next thing, the mate had come down, there's aerials off my ship, because it looked like a jungle of all these aerials. Yeah. It was rigged up on everything that they could hang them on.
Out the porthole up the top of the mast.
So they ended up, ships got integrated aerials.
Yeah.
And this is how things progressed. And
on the ships and that, you would have come across a few characters and that you've met.
Jesus.
Any jump to mind?
I was only the other day, I was talking about this. I'd like to write a little book or story on characters, plus their nicknames. I mean, Arthur Quid Sid and 2 Bob Taff and the Rabbo, and the Phantom Barber and Earl and the Baron, and I mean, there were so many characters around. Some of them were real bad bastards too. There were some not nice people went to sea, but not the majority. They were good. I mean, once you sail with somebody, they're your mate forever. Yeah. You notice that? You're sort of a elite group. Yeah. So I can't talk to shore people.
No, I find it difficult myself.
I can't get through them. They give me the shits actually. I had a few seamen here the other day, seamen, and we just rambled on for ages and having a drink and yelling, and it was really good. You know, I miss all that. Yeah. I really miss it. Yeah. So there you go. That's progress.
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right. In your times at sea, you would have had some highs and some lows, some good times, bad times.
Oh yeah, well. Mostly I enjoyed it all. I mean, I liked being at sea and on a ship, but bad times. Well, the only thing you could say is bad weather. I mean, that wasn't nice, being in cyclones and all that. That was very uncomfortable, actually, especially on small ships. I ended up being a Bass Strait cowboy for a while. You know, there were, and those little E-boats are only 600 tonne. I mean, once you got out there in a howling gale or something, you really knew you was at sea. But next thing you're in port, and a few whales, it's all forgotten.
Yeah, that's true. In bad weather, and that was the next question. Any hits and misses, or you know, like been any semi-disasters or anything like that?
No.
No groundings, no hitting the wharf or nothing like that?
No, we never had any drama, not serious drama, not like your old man and the Hula, which he's mentioned 1,000 times.
Oh, probably about 1,000 in his interview too,
no, nothing like that. I paid off to Corio, an old ship called the Corio in Geelong. I must have had a premonition because she sunk. She sailed and sunk. So I can't tell you about that story, thank God.
What does the Seamen's Union of Australia mean to you, and how did it influence shipboard life and families life?
How did it influence? Jesus, well, being an area-ass deck boy, you've never heard of a union. You didn't know what it meant or what anything about it. So you walk aboard a ship. It was 1949. Now here's a real baptism of fire in unionism. 1949. There was the wharfish strike, there was the seamen's on strike, the miners on strike, the Canadian Seamen's Union was destroying itself, and it was just turmoil. It was absolute turmoil everywhere, and anyway, as I said, I was on the River Glenelg, and they'd come down, they'd say, right, we'll put the sailing board up, and everybody refused to sail. Like we were in sympathy with another union or something, and so he'd line us all up on the boat deck and ask individually, and you'll say no, 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 no. And I thought, what do I do? And the delegate said, you say no, right? No, right, this is my baptism of unionism. So we got logged 13 times, right? And there goes me month's wages. And anyway, when it all finished and we sailed eventually, the delegates come up to me and said, that was good of you, son. I said, what do you mean? He says, you didn't have to refuse to sail us. I said, thanks very much. So I become a martyr of my first ship. Well, then you got involved in unionism. I mean, and you realise what it was all about, because, you know, especially for conditions and so forth. But I always remember that. You didn't have to do that, son. Yeah,
because generally the go was you left the deck boys out of that.
Yeah, well, that was it. But here's me. No, I'm not going to sail. I'm not going to sail. And here's a turner on the River Fitzroy years later. I'm the delegate and the other delegate, and we all. There was ships wouldn't sail on the weekend. There was another stoppage on, right? And anyway, it was revoked. The unions give us the okay. That's all over. We've won. You can sail. Anyway, we're all on the piss in Adelaide, and we goes aboard and says, righto, it's Friday. We're going to sail now. And the other delegate says, no, we're not. We're not sailing on the weekend or anything. I said, that's all finished. And there's call a meeting, and then there's all hands in the mess room, all with tallies in front of him. He's saying we're not sailing, I'm saying we are sailing. So up we goes on the boat deck again, and who was the captain? Was Mad Mick Brunton. I don't know if you know him.
No.
And he says, right, are you going to take this ship away? And they said, no. Are you? Yes, I'm taking it away. And I had my stalwarts with me, and we're taking it. And the skipper's going, what's going on here? Right? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, things got worse, and I ended up getting discharged in Adelaide. Yeah, right. But I got on the piss in Newcastle and abused the old man because he's crazy.
Yeah.
He says, "You pay off, you're out finished." I got a good.
Yeah.
It's the only bad thing I had in me discharges, but anyway, when I paid off, I remember the second mate saying, "I don't blame you for what you said. He is a lunatic."
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, and as you went along, you realised the importance of the union and how it made all conditions better, and it was good to be part of it.
Well, that runs into the next question anyway about the disputes and that shipboard or other ones you've participated in. So you're virtually, covered.
Well, there was so many things you got involved in, like even when I was in the tugs. I mean, you're forever on picket lines.
Yeah, well,
it was either Utah or Columbus lines or something. He was always involved in. Later on, it was the wharf business, but I'd retired by then.
Well, was it Columbus or Utah up here was the longest picket line?
4 years, yeah. And they had a birthday party, and Utah made a cake and everything. Invited the delegates. Yeah, it become a sort of joke in the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, they did get the ships, but the reason they got them was they couldn't get chartered ships to take. I think it was coal to India or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And so they give the Australian ships that was a compromise.
Yeah.
And that fizzled out. So there was no real victory in that.
No, but I believe we are manning Rio Tinto ships now. Who'd have thought that years ago? Which I think was Utah to start off with, and then they become Rio Tinto, now we're manning them on the Weeper Gladstone run. I could be wrong, but I've got a funny feeling we are manning Rio Tinto jobs.
Yeah, well, I can't work out the man. It's got, there's a ship, that Kalaka or something. That's
Kalaka. She's gone. She's finished.
No, they want to replace her. She's got a Ukrainian master and something else.
Yeah.
And, foreign engineers and 5 of us blokes. There's only 5 MUA blokes. It's a real cosmopolitan mix-up.
Yeah.
And this is the way things are going, apparently.
Yeah.
Plus the Stadcona, was it?
Stadcona, yeah. She's got an old foreign crew. She was the ex-River Yarra.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And the CSL Pacific's the ex-River Torrens. She's got an old foreign crew.
That Canadian steamship lines, they're involved in self-unloaders.
Yeah.
They buy them all up all over the world. That's why they bought these.
Yeah.
And they're a bastard of a company to work for.
He was the ex-Prime Minister of Canada, Fricko and Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're a real hard mob to work for.
The importance of stop work meetings, mate.
Of what?
The importance of stop work meetings. The role they played and how well they were attended in that.
Oh yeah, well they were a necessity because that's how you kept up with the current events and what was needed of you to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
I haven't been to one since I retired, but I believe they're totally different now.
Yeah, hard to get anyone there, mate.
Yeah, well,
I know in Melbourne they're mostly made up of retirees.
Yeah, well, I believe it's the same here.
Yeah.
They just go in and they just sit down and listen.
Yeah. When you first went to sea, how were seamen selected for the jobs? How did you pick the jobs up?
Oh, it was called the bull system. They would say 1AB for so and so, and anybody who was interested would line up, and the second mate, whoever's picking up, he'd pick who he wanted, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of skullduggery went on there because if they wanted something they knew, they'd tell you to have a newspaper under your arm, wear a brown tie or something, and you'd get picked up. And if you didn't want a job, you just didn't volunteer for anything. And ships were held up all the time, shortage of crew.
Yeah.
So they brought in Billy Bird, of course you've heard of Billy Bird. He brought in a sort of a roster system before the official one. He said, look, there's a job going, it's got to be filled, everybody throws their union book in a hat, and the one comes out goes.
Yeah.
That's if nobody volunteered for it. And that was all the real shit jobs.
Yeah.
So that's how they kicked that off to stop these ships getting. This is a union official.
Yeah.
Doing that because it was getting a bit. It was just getting too much. I mean, if one fireman pays off on Friday, you're there till Monday, you know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't good for the business.
Yeah.
So that was an unofficial roster system, but apart from that, it was called a bull system, and you just went there, and you got picked up by the second mate.
And then the roster system came in what, 60?
I don't know when it come in.
Mid-60s, I think.
But then that was a real fair system.
Yeah.
You were top of the roster, you had first pick. If nobody wanted it, you got it anyway.
You got it.
That was a bit hard.
Or you got a fortnight's leave, unofficial leave, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you got suspended, down at the bottom or something. But what happened to me with that bloody roster system, I was in Melbourne and there was a ship called the Barossa, and the mate was a bloke called Anderson, and you're guaranteed there'd be a full crowd sacked every time I ride back in Melbourne.
Was he the prick that was master of the Moringa when the Noongar sank?
I don't know, but he was notorious. I'd say it'd be worse than Old Tane.
That sounds like it was him. Yeah.
Anyway, the Barossa's coming into Melbourne, and we're all on the roster and say, oh, geez, here we go. There'll be 9 AB's jobs going today, and sure enough, in comes the Barossa, and I thought, oh, I'm gone, because I'm number one, right?
Yeah.
And there's no other jobs calling. I says, this is it, pack me bags. Anyway, the phone rings, and it's James Patrick and Company, and they said, we want 1 AB for the card ross. I'm not religious, but I said, thank God. Yeah, I got the card ross, the poor bastards went in the Barossa, and that saved me life.
Yeah.
I come to Brisbane, I used to run Melbourne, Brisbane, and I said, Jesus, I love this Brisbane, you know, good beer, good girls, and I stayed on her for a while, and then I ended up in the B boats, and I ended up in 3 different B boats. I was about 5 years on the road. I ended up getting married. Yeah. I don't know if that Barossa was such a good thing after all. But that was the roster system. Yeah. It had its good points and its bad points. Yeah.
Schedule C. And when our leave system and that came in, when you didn't have to work weekends and accumulate weekends and that, and when we at least got a decent leave system.
Well, the leave system, well, I was in the tugs for 23 years. I don't know how far this goes back. Yeah. The leaves, I mean...
I think the tugs were probably the first that got the best leave system.
Well, the Brisbane tugs were, I think, noted for the first that got the aggregate wage. Yeah. We had, you know, the aggregate wage. Yeah. You got a set wage, and they do claim the Brisbane tugs were the first to get that. Yeah. And so you knew what was going to earn. You didn't have to worry about overtime and all that. So you just got your set wage every fortnight. The leave system. Well, the tugs had an excellent leave system. Yeah. But what you're talking about, I think that was, I was out of that. I mean, I was in the tugs.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. How did going to sea affect your family life?
Oh, yeah. I never got married till I was 33, you know? And I was having the time of my life, but some enchanted evening at Rotten Bin Borough. I met my wife, and anyway, I thought, I've got to change my ways now. So I thought, well, I'll get a job in the river on the dredges. Yeah. This is a good one. So I goes down to pick up, and they said 1 AB for the dredge Eganese. I thought that sounds good. And every Thursday there'd be 1 AB in the dredge Eganese because somebody'd be shanghaied in and they'd to do a week and get out. And I jumped up and volunteered. They all said, this bloke's a lunatic.
Stark raving.
Yeah, that's that Melbourne bloke.
Yeah.
Because I transferred. And so I joined the dredge. I thought, oh, here we go. I'm home. Wife. And then about a couple of weeks on, I thought, Jesus, this money's not very nice. The lowest paid thing in the seagoing industry, dredges. I says, I'm getting out of here. So I said, look, I'll go and I'll get a nice little short run coaster, right? Next thing I'm in Hong Kong. Pick up the PJ Adams. Yeah. This is on my honeymoon. You imagine all the fun the blokes are having up there. I'm in my hotel room reading dirty books. Because I didn't play up. And I didn't either. And well, fancy coming home with a toast.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So anyway, we brought the PJ Adams back, and I says, all right, I'm going back in the river. And I joined that little workboat for the Harbours of Marine, right? And there's only the skipper of the boat and me, the deckhand, right? And I'm on that for a week. He never spoke to me for a whole week. I says, I'm going mad, I can't act this. So I left.
Was that Dudley?
He says, where you going? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, because I was on that little workboat too.
He says, where you going? I says, I'm going mad. He says, you're the best deckhand I've ever had. I said, why don't you say something about it? So I says, no, I'm going back to sea again. And so they picked up the Tim Barra. And she was, oh God, what the worst ship in the world. And she wanted, I thought it was 12 ABs. Here I go again. I says, I'm number 13. I'm sweet. I'm sweet. Shades of the old Barossa, right? And they said, right, we're picking up the Timbara. We want 13 ABs. I says, oh, shit. I had to come home and tell the wife. I said, where you going? I said, oh, we're load steel from Manila.
Oh, yeah, when she was running over there, yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway,
slow boat to nowhere.
No, we done a trip, a box site to Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
Then we went back to Newcastle to load this steel from Manila. And the mate was Jack Nance. He's a real good bloke. He knew me from way back. I says, Jack, you can go and get stuffed. He says, you can't talk to me like that. I said, look, Jack, sack me. I want to get out. I just got married. He says, what's wrong? I says, this ship's going to Manila. He put his arm around me and said, yeah, Bill will have a great time, won't we? I says, oh, piss off. Anyway, I got a mutual consent because she was an extremely overmanned ship. And the Newcastle blokes liked the iron lung, and she was one. And so I got my mutual consent to come home. And a couple more ships, William G. Walkley, the Dalby.
Just harken back to the mutual consent now. That's where you paid for the bloke to come on board and he agreed to come. You paid, if he got a cab fare down, you had to pay his cab fare or something, didn't you?
You have to get somebody to
agree to
want the job. But you wouldn't have any trouble in
not on the Manila run,
No, in that ship. Because those Newcastle blokes, they liked bulk carriers. They didn't like derricks.
Hang on, I shipped out of Newcastle for a while.
Sorry about that. And so I got my mutual consent. And I had to pay my own way home to Brisbane. That was part of the deal. Yeah,
that's right. You paid your own way back to your own port.
And the Tim Barra later on, you get the log, don't you? Well, you've seen the articles on the Tim Barra when she went to the United States.
Oh, yeah, when she did the sugar.
God, and how the Panama Canal pilot said, how the goddamn hell did you get here?
Across here,
It looked like Noah's Ark had come in there. All the blokes sold their passports. And they were barred from some ports. Don't let this ship come here again. Some ships were notorious like that.
After all that, then what was your last ship before you went onto the tugs?
William G. Walkley.
Was the Walkley, old Ampole tanker. Were you there with my dear old daddy? Was he on the Walkley with you?
No. I'd never sailed with Frank. So, no, I'd never been on a ship with Frank. And
then you joined the tugs. What year was that?
1970. 69.
Oh, yeah.
69. I stayed there 23 years.
Yeah.
I didn't realise I'd been there that long till I become redundant. And they said, right, well, you know, there used to be 6 in the tugs, and
Yeah.
then they got rid of the Peggy, and went down to 5, and then they got rid of another one and went down to 4, and I ended up, they carted me off in an ambulance. They thought I had a heart attack, right? And Jimmy Steele always says, you remember that fake heart attack you had? Because I didn't have one.
Yeah.
It was a false alarm. It was pretty serious at the time.
Yeah.
And so they said, right, there's another lot of redundancies coming up.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I'm all right. I don't want to retire. I love this job. And somebody says, go and get a calculator, you stupid bastard, and do some figures.
Yeah.
I says, why? They says, they're going to give you 3 weeks' wages for every year. Well, I thought, 23 years. I says, no, back to 49.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a rather inducive thing. So I took the redundancy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because I did have a couple of serious medical problems later on. If I had stood on,
You got bugger all.
I would have been up the creek.
Yeah.
So that worked out well.
And so what, you retired in 92, wasn't it? We worked out?
Yeah,
16,
92,
And what do you do now?
Well,
I mean, it's silly, and we'll probably take a video of it in a minute, but what do you do now apart from sit on your ass down here making models?
Oh, I'm involved with the Maritime Museum. And
Which one's that?
here.
The Forceful?
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, I just done this for them.
Yeah.
For their diamond team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do that, I do this. I'm always getting phone calls from people wanting the photos of ships and information.
Now, who would do that?
And I do have all the Jen here, and
oh, shit, and I forgot to ask the old man for that photo of the Mittagong.
Yeah, I did send it.
Yeah.
Send him one,
Yeah.
It's the only one I got of that ship. It's not a very good photo, but it is colour.
And
it's a bit fuzzy, and it's got the
bulk ship colour. Yeah, because the only photo I got was when she was VHP colours, but I was never on in VHP.
Well, there's 100,000 photos in there.
As I said on the phone call that night, I only want one.
100,000. And you think, I had to ring up Tassie to my mate down there.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I'm stuck here. What do you want? I says, Mittagong with it?
Yeah.
I says, I can't find a photo of the Mittagong.
Yeah.
I says,
and there was that one for Taffy. What one was that?
Yeah, I got that.
You got that one, yeah. No, it was good, mate.
That was hard to get.
Yeah.
Well, if I can't get it, my mate and Tassie will get it. Between the two, we got it wrapped up.
Are you in the vets? The Maritime, the Seaman Junior vets? Oh, haven't they? They got one up here, haven't they? The veterans group.
Well, we have an annual get together.
Yeah, no, they're down south. They got the veterans and that monthly meeting.
I don't know if it's took off up here. I'm not sure.
I don't know, mate.
I know Maxie Wood was pushing it.
You know Maxie's back at sea, don't you?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, River Embley.
Up there, huh?
Yeah.
What as?
AB.
Do they still take AB?
They are now because they're need people in that. So
there's a hell of a shortage. Isn't
yeah, they're taking them back as ABs. All you got to do is get your STCW 95.
What's that?
It's your safety training, which is like your old boat ticket and that years ago. But that you've got to go back and do your STCW.
And a medical.
Yeah, and a medical. You pass medical. They're screaming out for blokes. I mean, how old's Maxie? 76?
Guys, went up.
76, 77, something like that. Yeah, took him back, mate.
There's another bloke somebody mentioned the other day.
And the thing is, you don't have to go down the engine room because you're only an AB. It's just
that's good.
Just deck watches and you know.
Because I didn't do that IR course. So I'm not going down engine room.
Yeah. I think it's one of the worst things we ever done myself. But it was supposed to guarantee us jobs. And what happened? Jobs just went left, right, and centre.
Yeah, engine rooms. I couldn't hack it.
No. So, do you know much about the industry today?
Well, I do keep up to date. Yeah.
What do you think of the way it's gone?
Well, as you said, there's it looks like a form of attrition. It's just trying to phase it out. I mean, no big business people are interested in shipping.
Yeah.
The only ships that are running have got to run because of, say, the bauxite trade, the oil. But as for general cargo, no, they tried that boomerang line. They tried that, and they've tried several types of shipping to move cargo. But
well, you heard about the second boomerang that come in, the Commandante, didn't you?
No, I haven't kept up with them actually.
Well, he was supposed to get 3 to go on the run.
Yeah, 3.
There was the boomerang one, the Commandante, which was an old ship. She had 75 defects in the engine room alone. We were pushing her up into Swanson Dock. Yeah. And I said to the skipper, don't push too hard. And he said, why? I said, have a look down there. He said, what? I said, have a look at the water pissing out of the hull. She had two big splits in the hull. One about a foot long running fore and aft, and one like horizontally. And I knew the pilot, and I had his phone number. So I sent a message to him saying, don't get us to push up too hard, Dave. We'll go right through it. And he come running out the wing of the bridge and go, what? And I pointed down there and said, look, hole, water, pissing out. So she got as far as, she snuck out of Melbourne. Yeah. Got as far as West Australia, and they had her under arrest. She had just too many defects. I don't know what happened to her after that. But when the ITF went down onto her in Melbourne, before she snuck out, the chief engineer came into the skipper's cabin and said, oh, it was tug damage. Tug damage. Yeah. But that was the boomerang line. Yeah.
It folded, didn't it?
It folded on.
What happened, when they kicked off, they had a boomerang 1 and 2, and they were doing this cross service.
Well, no, the boomerang 2 was supposed to be the Commandante, but she never started, and they never got a 2. It was just the 1, and that's why he couldn't keep going.
What the plan was for...
Yeah, it's supposed to be 3 of them.
But one was doing about 20 knots, and this one was supposed to do about 40, and it wouldn't coincide. This is a joke.
But apparently when the Boomerang 1 finished, and the Filipino crew come on board, one of the Aussie blokes I know said to them, well, look, we'll show you around. And they said, don't worry, we're just waiting to come back. We know the ship. So, so I don't know what went on there. But my information's telling me that if Anthony Albanese will give the whatchamacallit that overseas ship owners get, that Richard Pratt with Visi Board, he's interested in bringing a couple of ships onto the coast, and there's someone else that's interested in bringing ships onto the coast too. So if they do it and give them all the subsidies and that overseas ships get, which were denied by previous governments and that, then maybe, just maybe, we might start getting a merchant fleet back again. But
as I said before, big business isn't interested in shipping. The answer to move cargo is rail. Get the trucks off the road.
Well, that's right.
An integrated rail system, north-south, inland, away from the main thing. And that's the way to move the cargo. I mean, as you said, like this boomerang line and other ones, there was another mob wanted to start up too, Grack, the little Dutch ship, something Grack. They wanted to employ Australian seamen, and that didn't eventuate.
Well, if you remember years ago, I think it was Columbus Line offered to employ the Australian seamen union members and that, but keep the German officers and that. We told them to go and get stuff that we wanted to have full Aussie crews. But then
you end up with nothing.
Well,
now you've got integrated crews there.